All right. Hello, everybody. Let me know if you can hear and if everything is working well. Super excited to be here with another stream for the Alchemy community. So today we're going to be diving into smart contract deployment and development with the Cookbook.dev platform and website. So I'm super excited to introduce two people from the Cookbook.dev team. We have Jackson. Let's see. All right, we got Jackson on the screen.
Hi
Say
there.
hi. Introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, of course. My name is Jackson, and I'm currently leading developer relations for the Cookbook platform.
Awesome, awesome. And then we also have Sam. I'm going to bring Sam on stage real quick. All right, there's Sam. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm part of the Cookbook team as well.
Awesome. Great. Cool. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. And so for today's session, we're going to be walking through, how to use the Cookbook.dev platform. I'll leave Jackson to talk about all of this. Sam and I are going to drop off on the side. I'll be watching the YouTube comments with the Alchemy account, and Sam will be watching the YouTube comments. Feel free to engage with us. We can pin certain things like RB says loud and clear. They can hear us, which is awesome. So, whenever you have questions or you have comments, whatever it is, I'll try and pin it. I'll highlight it so that way Jackson can see it on screen and then also address any of those comments. And we'll definitely have like a Q&A session at the very end too. So save your meaty questions for the end there. Awesome. Cool. If that all sounds good, go ahead, Jackson. You can share your screen and I'll let you take the stage.
Yeah, let me get to getting this screen share working. And I just wanted to also say, probably during the most of this presentation, I'll be going through and starting with a little bit of thesis, going into a little bit of workshop, and Sam will be in the chat helping answer questions, and then I can pop on at the end when we get into a Q&A like portion and answer some of those more technical dev-related questions more directly. But let me go ahead and get the screen share working.
Exciting. All right, I'll drop off for now.
All right, perfect. Cool. And here we go. We've got a little bit of an infinite mirror going on, but going over here to the actual workshop portion, give me just 1 second. I'm going to exit this Zoom, and there we go. Now I've got that echo rid. Can everybody still hear me? Perfect. Okay, so thank you guys all so much, and thank you, Alchemy, for this opportunity to kind of present and go through a little bit of building with Cookbook and Alchemy. So I've got a little bit of a slideshow to start off with, just to go over a little bit of why you would build with Cookbook and Alchemy and what you can build with Cookbook and Alchemy. A little bit more about me. I'm a developer and entrepreneur in the Web3 space. Throughout the last 3-ish years, I've worked on a huge variety of projects spanning pretty much every single vertical. So DeFi, gaming, marketplaces, on-chain analytics, and so much more. And through a lot of those building experiences, as well as helping scale up a consulting team from me and my co-founder to a team of 12, learned a lot about the difficulties of learning Web3 in the space and building in the space. So currently, I'm leading developer relations for Cookbook. And yeah, that's a little bit of a summary of me. And so now into a little bit more about Cookbook. Why would you use Cookbook? There's a couple core reasons. And the first one is you're looking for a smart contract. And so this can be anything from a smart contract that you know is already in use from another platform. Maybe you want to use some of the contracts that power Aave or another large protocol. Or it could be something as small as a little protocol fundamental, like an ERC 721, an ERC 20, any type of smart contract. Another is you're looking for a contract library. So maybe you want to use something like the string library from OpenZeppelin, or maybe you want to use something like a binary tree algorithm that might have been developed by another developer, but you're looking for a component of a library. And the third one is if you're looking to build out your own portfolio in Web3. Once you get the hang of kind of building smart contracts and working with Solidity, you can upload your contracts and share them on the Cookbook platform. And not only can people just see the contracts you built, but they can see a lot of details and analytics and statistics that show how much use your smart contract's getting. So information about other downloads, deployments, where things are in use. And so kind of the core of that is if you are a developer building in Web3, Cookbook is something that you can get value from. And so what exactly is Cookbook and why did we build it? Well, as we know, smart contracts power all the dApps throughout the Web3 ecosystem. And just like libraries in Web2, you know that most contracts and components already exist in some form or fashion. It's just difficult to find and source them. And then past that, once you've found one, it's difficult to trust it. And so Cookbook is a global repository that provides documentation, deployment statistics, and so much more so that you can find and trust contracts that exist throughout the open internet. And Cookbook and Alchemy work together so well. Cookbook is something you use if you're building at the kind of beginning of your journey in terms of each individual project. So if you're looking for a smart contract, you can find that, you can view the information, you can deploy it, you can iterate it, you can build out your resume, essentially things that are on the solidity side of your building process. And Alchemy extends beyond that. You can build on your smart contracts, you can pull data from your smart contracts, you can integrate that data into your front end, and with Alchemy Academy, you can expand your education. So together they work really well as a front-to-back development suite. And that kind of goes into what we're looking to build out today using the Cookbook platform and Alchemy, which is going to be an NFT staking platform. I thought this would be a good workshop to get into because, you know, especially during market times like these, so many NFT projects are struggling and looking for ways to add more value to their community. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. Some have gone about the ways of kind of providing real world utilities, real world use cases, as well as token gating things like their Discord, things like their Telegram, trying to build that stronger sense of community, or gating to IRL events. But what I wanted to focus on is a little bit inspired by Moonbirds and the staking or nesting utility that they have. And now Moonbirds is a little bit different because the nesting part is built into the contract, but I wanted to show how we can build a staking platform so that if you've already got an NFT collection, you don't have to mint another NFT collection that's part of their contract. You can mint a separate staking platform as well as a token that people can get as rewards when they stake their contract. And this can do a lot from encouraging people to keep their NFT staked in one location, giving it that value, as well as being able to provide different utilities around a token that they can get. Maybe they can trade it throughout the ecosystem, maybe they can redeem it for something else. But either way, you get to reward community members for holding those NFTs for longer periods of time. Let me go ahead and check the chat, make sure that everybody here is with me. And it looks like everything's going smoothly, so I'll go ahead and get into a little bit more of the workshop portion of things. So here we are on the Cookbook homepage, and the first thing that I'm going to want to do is go ahead and mint an NFT of my very own. So if you already have an NFT contract, if you're running an NFT project, this would be a step that you could go ahead and skip. But for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and find an NFT contract on the Cookbook platform. And so here you can see there's all of these keyword filters, these tags on the left side where you can get into a lot of specifics if you're looking for something that's soulbound, something that gives royalties, and you can click multiple of these at the same time. So if I was looking for something burnable, something that had a whitelist, you could be able to find that information there. But I'm going to go ahead and turn those off and just get this simple NFT drop-in sale, keep it simple for the time being. And you can see over here that this is an audited smart contract. And so got some simple information about the contract, have all of its functions. I can kind of get into the nitty gritty and see if this is exactly what I'm looking for. Coming into this workshop, I know that it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this information out pretty quickly and can just fill in what is the name of the contract. We can call this Cookbook Alchemy NFT. Keep it simple. And that will be minted by me. And then I'll go ahead and leave the description blank for now and upload a version of our logo as the NFT metadata itself. And this can go ahead and link just to the Cookbook platform. And Cookbook Alchemy, we could just call this CAL. And the wallet limit, how many of these do we want maximum per each wallet? We'll go ahead and put 10. Initial price of 0.01, want to keep it easy and cheap to mint. And the maximum number of NFTs here, we'll go with a standard 10,000 NFT collection. And here I can go ahead and pick any chain I want to mint from. We're going to be keeping things simple, run through this initially on the Goerli testnet, but you can always go through, once you're ready to kind of deploy it into production, go on any mainnet as well as back on the previous page, you can download a bunch of information about it. And if you want to make modifications to this smart contract before actually testing out with it, that's something you can do as well. But for now, going to be going into Goerli. And in case you don't have any Goerli ETH, we've got this link right here that will link you directly to a faucet. And this is linking you to the Alchemy faucet right here. And so if you don't have any Goerli ETH, you can go through here to get some. And what you'd want to do in that sense is go ahead and go to the Alchemy login in the top right. And what's something amazing with the Alchemy platform is you can just sign in with OAuth. So I'll go ahead and use my Cookbook email to log into my account and use my current address and paste it in to send me some ETH. And just like that, amazing, we've got some Goerli ETH that we can use to mint our contracts, to test our contracts, and to run through this entire flow. So I can go back to the page I was on before, and now I can just deploy this contract just like that. And so one of the amazing things about the Cookbook platform is every single contract that you deploy, you're deploying directly from your wallet. You just saw right there, MetaMask opened, I clicked confirm, and if I pop into my MetaMask, I can see that that contract deployment is pending. So this doesn't go through any intermediaries. There's no middleman who's deploying and transferring the contract over to you. This contract is completely yours, completely minted from your account, and you have full control over it. And so just like that, I've got my NFT wallet and limited sale. I can go over to manage contract. Here I can see all of the function calls. And in order to mint something, I'm first going to need to set the sale to active. And so this is for if you have an NFT collection that you're looking to mint, and you might want to create the contract and then start with it being inactive so people can't go ahead and mint it if they find out your contract address before your sale goes live. But since we're just doing this for testing purposes, I'll go ahead and set this to true, submit that, and then once that sale is active, I can go ahead and mint myself an NFT to stake later. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for this transaction to go through, let me go ahead and take a peek for those other contracts that I am looking to go ahead and use. And so we need two more contracts for this to work. One is going to be a token contract that people can get as rewards for staking their NFT. And the other is going to be the actual NFT staking contract. So first of all, I'll go ahead and find that token contract. And again, we're going to want to keep it simple. So I'll just go for this first Open Zeppelin simple token contract. And I can go ahead and peek down here and look at the code for that. And super simple smart contract. It literally just inherits Open Zeppelin's ERC20 standard and then creates a ERC20 with the name, with the symbol, and the total supply. So the three arguments that you pass in are just used to mint this standard ERC20 contract. And again, if you're looking to make higher modifications to this, if you want something unique with the token, there's a million things you can do by downloading the source, playing around with it, adding your own functionality to it. And if it's something that you're just looking to use later, you can again save it for later, and that will pop up in your dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and do this deployment again. And let's see, I can just call this token, since we're doing things for testing purposes, I'll call this test v1. And then TV1 as the symbol, and I'll go ahead and make a supply of this. What is that? That's 100,000. Why don't I do 10 million of these tokens? And precision is the number of decimals you want in that. And so most standard ERC20s have 18 decimals of precision. And same with ETH as a token or as a cryptocurrency itself, it's got 18 decimals of precision. That's kind of what the standard is. If you actually went down and selected 0, then this would it would act as an NFT, in which case it's not divisible beyond an individual value. But here, 18 decimals of precision, we're going to keep it standard. And again, keep everything on the Goerli testnet. So I'm going to go through with this deploy as well. And now we're going to have one NFT contract as well as one token contract. And so the last thing we're going to need is going to be an NFT staking contract. And so I can go about a couple ways of finding this. I could go to find NFTs and try to hunt for something over in the tags, but I'm just going to search in the search bar NFT staking. Okay, And here we've got first thing that comes up, an NFT staking with infinite rewards. This is the contract I'm looking to use. And I can go through a little bit as well, the source code of it to see if this is exactly what I'm looking for. So we've got an NFT staking contract, and it has a couple mappings in it of staked tokens, the balance of each address, and I could actually start up here with the description. So this is an NFT staking contract that rewards stakers with an exact number of ERC20 tokens per day. On deployment, the owner specifies a daily reward rate and an address that tokens will be pulled from. Neither of these can be changed. Each staked NFT receives the same number of tokens per day. The per NFT rate stays the same even when the number of staked NFTs increase or decrease. A common use case of this is for blockchain-based games, where an NFT rewards a certain number of lives per day. Okay, so in that case, you would want an NFT to reward that token, and the token might be something non-transferable. And then it could actually be burned by the game when people lose lives. I can see that kind of use case. And so if I look at the arguments that this takes in, it's going to be the name of the contract, the staked NFT address, the reward token address, which we both have from the contracts we just minted, and then the wallet that holds the rewards to be paid out. And then the number of tokens per staked NFT per day. So how many tokens do we want to reward the staker, the NFT staker, per day that his NFT is staked? And then the precision of that token, which we already know is 18. So if I look through this, I can see a little bit more detail on that. We've got the staking contract, which transfers the NFT into the contract itself to hold. We've got the kind of some read functions that show how much of those tokens are available. And then we've got a redeem function where the person who staked the NFT can come through and redeem the tokens that he earns. So right here, we've got the reward token dot transfer from, it's sending from the reward wallet to the message.sender, which is the user that calls this contract. And that's the amount, which is the reward amount that user should have built up. So all of this is looking good. Let me go ahead and mint this contract. So name of the contract, Alchemy Cookbook, Alchemy staking contract. Keep things straightforward and simple. And then we're going to need to pull these addresses from the contracts we just minted. So let's see, I can go ahead to this NFT contract and copy the address just by clicking right here. And I can see right here, it's copied to clipboard. There's the NFT address. Yes, that was the NFT contract. Okay. And here's the minted simple token address. And I can copy this address as well and paste this as the reward token. And so this token, it should have minted these tokens directly to my wallet. So while I'm here, let me go ahead and import this to make sure that I'm holding these tokens. And there we go. Yes, I've got 10 million of these tokens that I just minted into my wallet. So wallet that holds the rewards to be paid out. And normally, if I wanted to do something that was a little bit more production grade, I would probably want here to have some multi-sig or some burn address or some wallet that is maybe a smart contract that's had its ownership renounced. Because this is going to be, as I saw in the contract code, a wallet that the staking contract is pulling tokens out of in order to distribute them to the users who stake their NFTs. But for the purpose of this walkthrough, I'm just going to keep things simple. I'm going to use this, my own wallet, because that's what's already holding the tokens. So I can just paste that address in here. And then the number of tokens per stake NFT per day. We just read that. We know exactly what that's doing. It's every single NFT will pay out this many tokens per day. And let's go ahead and say 1 million. This is, a little bit ludicrously high, because this would mean every NFT is taking 10% of the market cap of the token per day. But for the sake of being able to see that number rising, to make sure that in this test environment, we've got this contract working, we'll start it right there. Again, we're going to keep everything on Go Early and get this contract deployed. And so now I have 3 contracts deployed. I've got my NFT contract, which you might already have from having your own project yourself, but I've got the 2 different things I'm minting to add utility to it. So my token contract and my NFT staking contract. And what I've got to do now is plug them all together. And so the first thing that I'm going to do after this deploy finishes, awesome, finished just now, is go ahead and approve this contract by the NFT contract as well as by the token contract. And so what that's going to do is approve this contract to be able to A, hold the NFT, and B, distribute those tokens to the stakers. So I'm going to want to go ahead and copy this contract address and go into my dashboard for my NFT contract, go into my dashboard for my token contract, and call approve. And so this is normally something, when you're actually getting started on the build portion of your project and building out the front end, you're going to want to have this built into the front end. Well, specifically the NFT approval, because you want this to be called by the user who is going to be staking his NFT, because the user is actually the one that's giving the smart contract permission to hold that NFT. And actually, I think I missed a step here because I'm going to want to be able to test this out, actually mint this NFT myself. So let me go ahead and mint one of these NFTs. And if we remember back, we set the payment at 0.01 per NFT. And that precision is going to be 0 because NFTs have a precision of 0. So I'll go ahead and submit that. And I should be now the proud owner of one of these Cookbook Alchemy test NFTs on the Goerli testnet. And that is coming through. And yeah, back to the approval process. I'm going to want to approve this staking contract, which I had the address copied in my clipboard, and I'm going to want to approve it for the token ID of 0. So that's that NFT that I just minted right here. I actually should be able to see that data and verify that in the block explorer. So if I want to see more data, right there, we've got ID, should have been that ID of 0 for that minted NFT. And I can see right here the data. So there's the contract mint. Oh, actually, it looks like I did mint this NFT a little while back. So I've got 2 of the NFTs with ID 0 and ID 1. We're going to go ahead and approve this for the ID 0 and keep that precision at 0 as well. Approved caller is not owner. Okay, let me try that with ID 1. All right, perfect. So I'm giving the staking contract permission to hold this NFT, the ID 1 NFT from my wallet, as well, approving that token spend. And I'm going to want to do that same approve for my sample token right here. So I've got that address. Let me see the 0x6c. 0x6c is the contract address. And I'm just going to approve it for the total amount of those tokens that I minted, the market cap of those tokens. So right there, 10 million, keep that precision at 18. And this is not something that you'd want to have integrated into your front end. This is something that you'd only do once from the holder of these tokens. So I can go ahead and submit this. And now the contract should be approved to A, hold those NFTs, and B, distribute those tokens. So let me look through this contract again, just to make sure that those are the 2 things that I want it to do. So with stake, yes, you want it to transfer from the message.sender, the holder of that NFT, into the wallet. So you'd want to approve that. And for withdraw, you're looking to, oh no, that's for the NFT as well. That's for withdrawing your NFT as well. It's sending that NFT back to the wallet. For redeem, I believe. Where is that redeem? There it is, the redeem function. Yeah, that's transferring from the reward wallet. So you want that reward wallet to approve so that this contract is allowed to take those tokens out of the reward wallet. I believe everything's all connected up. Now let's try to play around with this contract and see if everything works. So let me first go through the read information of the contract. We've got the reward wallet, the reward token, all these variables set up correctly. And let me see the balance of the contract and how much of these NFTs that I have in there, that's 0. And available should be the amount of these ERC20 tokens that I have available to redeem. So both of these are values of 0 at the moment. Okay, let me try to stake my NFT in here. So keep same thing, keep that precision 0. And it looks like it's working. So that approval of that NFT went through. And again, if you're calling this function and it's not working, make sure that you have the contract approved by the NFT contract for your user. And so just like that, I have a stake going through. And as soon as that goes through, I should be able to see differences in this available and balance of function. Because if we go back to this contract, what is it doing when it's calling available and balance of? Here, available is showing the earned amount, which is the balance of your account multiplied by the time elapsed multiplied by the reward token per day. And so that should show me how much of those tokens are available. And then the balance of is going to be just the straight integer uint256 of the number of those NFTs that I have staked. So now that that staking has gone through, let me go ahead and do those reads. So we've got balance of one of those NFTs and then available. So how much of this is there? And you can see that amount. And again, that's of a precision of 18. So this is maybe 416 of these tokens. That's awesome. And now the only thing left to do is to go through and redeem. And this would be the final part of the process. And again, this is something that you could do with other wallets. You could stake with other wallets and get these tokens out. But just like that, I can go through and redeem that those tokens. And this would be the flow, again, that you'd bake into the front end. So a user can come through with the NFTs of the collection that you own and stake them and see the tokens filling up in their account over time, right? You'd connect this balance of and available to the front end, and that front end would be automatically populating the user's address and then displaying that. So it'd be counting up the number of tokens that they've earned. And you can use those tokens for so many things. You can gate discords at different levels. Say the longer you've staked, you have a Collabland bot that's integrated into your Discord, which the more that you have, the more different categories that it unlocks. And that would be something very similar to what Moonbirds is doing with their nesting system. Or you can make it as the documentation for this recommended, utilities that you could use in a game. So whether that's health that you get, whether that's tokens that you can use in an in-game store, there's so many things, different utilities that you can give to these different tokens, and really the sky is the limit here. But yeah, now we've got all of these 3 contracts connected, we've tested it, it's working. We could go back through this exact same flow and do it on a mainnet, or if we wanted to make modifications to the staking parameters, to the tokens themselves, then we could go through and download the code and make changes for them before doing that. And so I wanted to leave off this workshop here. It's at a good place where you guys actually have the contracts in your hands in a working, functional place. And in the future, we can possibly come back, do another workshop where we build out a front end for this. So you can see the process of going through and actually building a place where your users could interact directly with these contracts and you're not going through dashboards, and cleaning that up, provide a little scaffold for you. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you're interested in. And thank you guys all so much for coming through and joining me for this workshop. I'll go ahead and pop over to the StreamYard, and I can stop sharing my screen now and can answer any other questions. Thank you guys so much for coming through.
This was super awesome, Jackson. Great workshop. It's such an awesome platform that you and Sam and the team have built out with Cookbook. And yes, I see Elliot here, QA question mark. Yes, please drop questions in the comments below. We're going to feature them on the screen. We've got a couple of minutes, and then we can like answer those questions. But I do have a question first of all. What inspired you and Sam to build out the Cookbook platform? What was it that kind of made you want to focus on this project?
Thanks so much for that question. And a lot of it came through our experience in really building in the Web3 space, and especially a lot of what we were doing last year was kind of building out this consulting company where we kind of got a lot of experience building different platforms for different users, and hiring on some friends that came from the Web2 space to help us build and really help us push good products out into the market. And one of the big things you learn pretty quickly is that, especially coming from such a mature environment like Web2, there's a lot of things that developers are missing. And one of the most core ones is the ability to, find and build off of what other people are using. And so we noticed that there's just a couple standards that people rely on, but there's so much good open source stuff that people are building, and they just need a place to put the documentation for it to really compile the info to use it. And so we thought this would be a great place to add value to builders.
I love that. I love that. Even though, like, by standard, still a lot of the developers, everyone's hosting their code on GitHub and it's like searchable, but it's also like you don't really know what to look for. I like that the way that you've built out this repository, this index, is that people can search with like human readable language. Like, I know the intent of what I want to accomplish, and then this is what I can describe it, and then I get a smart contract for that. So that's pretty awesome. That's really cool. Okay,
Thanks
awesome.
So much, Albert.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Mal says, definitely interested in a front end for this. Thanks, mate. Killian says something similar, 100% in for a next workshop. VR says, nice work. Awesome. So it looks like we have some good demand for a follow-up episode 2 here.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Elliot has a question. What are the rewards and incentives to put your contracts onto Cookbook?
So right now, it's really just so developers can show off what they've been building. We have a lot of people that are sharing stuff on Cookbook, and we've been thinking about looking into providing some more incentive layers. But as we've talked to developers, we've learned that developers really just want a way to show off what they're building and put it out into the world. And so we're looking to build some more things that provide more value to that. And one of the big ones is making it more tailored so developers can really show off statistics around it. So not only can you show what you've built, but you could show that to potential employers, and they could see, oh, this guy's built something that's been downloaded by other people, that's live in deployment on these chains, that's processing these transactions. So really allow developers to have more credibility of what they're building as well.
That's awesome. That's epic. I love that. Another way to boost the resume and kind of develop your personal brand as someone in this industry.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you guys all in the comments so much for being interested in having something else. One of the great things about kind of doing a follow-up and building a front end of this is we could also show Alchemy's kind of token gating ability, so that this is something like a front end that would only appear to people that have that NFT already in their wallet. And so really being able to like get into that data of like reading the blockchain and getting into where people can transition from like having their smart contracts to building up data that pulls from them, that would be something really cool as well.
Totally. Quick, I want to share a quick plug. We do have the the Alchemy SDK, and this would be something that's excuse me, pretty perfect for, I think, for the front end workshop. This is basically a JavaScript SDK so far is what we have. It wraps all of the APIs that we have, so you can use the NFT API, for example, the get NFTs for owner, and it's a query that's one single line of code. You query it, you get all the NFT information, and then with that NFT information, you can then put it into your React web app, let's say, and display all the NFTs. You can also have WebSockets. So, as people are minting, as people are staking, you can actually have, pop-up notifications, because we're able to push notifications over to you that like, hey, this transaction is pending, this transaction is mined, using WebSockets and webhooks.
Yeah, it makes it so quick and easy. And for those of people who have been developing in the NFT space for more than a year or two, you guys know how much of a pain this kind of stuff was to do before, like how ridiculously tedious, literally days of work to get that kind of information.
Yeah, it's surprising how much work it is. But once you actually dig into it, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, blockchains are a very interesting distributed systems problem. Cool. Next question from Mal. What limitation would you set for the NFTs used for staking? Any NFT or differentiate by NFT value, floor price, etc. I guess this is maybe asking about how might you customize the project a little bit, or how can you do that?
Yeah, Mal, that's a great question, and it's a pretty tough question to answer because there's a lot of more theory about what you're looking to do with your project that goes into this. And I had originally designed this workshop a little bit tailored toward people that might already have an NFT project and are looking to add value for it. And so this is a little bit coming from the direction of, if you're starting an NFT project, how do you want to sell it? And a lot of that goes toward what's the audience? What kind of value are you looking to bring them? Are you an artist that's just kind of looking to mint NFTs to allow people to collect your work in some way? Or are you looking to use it to gate certain types of things? And so there's no real single solid answer for that. And a lot of it's going to be in what community are you making this for, and connecting with them and asking and kind of figuring out, where's the best place to price this, either for my art or for the value that it's bringing to a community.
Awesome. Okay, that's great advice right there. Next question from Niraj. We're going to do 2 more questions after this, so stay tuned. This question from Niraj: amazing workshop. Is there any indication that some contract is verified? For example, staking contract is verified by Aave. Is there anything like this in Cookbook?
Yeah, that's thank you so much, Niraj, for that question. That's one of the main things we're looking to do with the platform is, and we've got a lot of different projects that have listed their contracts on the platform. And so you can find some of the Aave contracts there, and it actually will link directly to where those things are live in deployment, as well as the audits that are public for them. And so not only can you see the contract, you can compare it to what's there on the Block Explorer, make sure that it's one-to-one, as well as see the audits that have been conducted on them.
That's awesome. Great to know. And then we'll have one from Jim Jam Jom. Jim. Can this be used for anything other than the usual token and NFT contracts?
Thanks so much, James. And yeah, we have a huge plethora of contracts. And one of the things that I had mentioned toward the beginning, I'm not sure if you were present for that, but it was that really it's a place for any developer who's looking to find any smart contract or a library. So this can be used to find things like staking contracts like we just showed, or marketplace contracts, or DEX contracts, or even library components of contracts. So string libraries, sorting libraries, even the smaller components of contracts. If you're more of a power user, you're more experienced with Solidity, and you're looking to piece things together.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was doing some browsing before this, and it's pretty cool what such a variety that you guys have right now. I work pretty closely with the Mint Kudos team, for example, on via Alchemy University and Road to Web3. We use their platform for soulbound tokens, and so I see their contract there too, so that people can kind of understand how it works under the hood. So it's pretty awesome what you guys are building.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm stoked to hear that. It's always great to see a little connection from something that's not just like one-on-one. So when you show that you have familiarity with a team and a contract that you found listed on there, that's amazing.
That's the dream, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet. Okay. Last question we'll take is from VR, who asks, are front ends done through Cookbook as well?
So VR, thanks for the question. Front ends are not done through Cookbook. We're looking to be a place to source kind of Solidity pieces. And if you're looking to build a front end, there's definitely ways to do that with no-code platforms. But if you're looking to build something more custom, like a front end for the workshop that we just showed today, you do need to get up on your development skills a little bit. Anything that's going to have more granularity, more customizability, and make something unique, you're going to need a little bit of development experience. So definitely my recommendation is go to Alchemy Academy. They just released this amazing workshop that goes through not just Web3 portions, but the fundamentals of development. And so you can use that to take your entire development journey from beginning to the part where you could build a front end for this application and plug everything together.
Totally. And awesome. Would love to like shout that out too, actually. It's Alchemy University, by the way. We were thinking about Alchemy Academy for a while. And then the funny thing was like, oh, the abbreviations are AA, which are kind of like Alcoholics Anonymous. We're like, it could be funny, but also, yeah, maybe let's switch it. But yeah, I can share the site real quick. So for people who haven't heard about it yet, let's see, share screen. This is the site. So if you go to university.alchemy.com, this is the homepage. This is where you can apply. Right now, we're in an early access phase. Our intent is to open this up completely for free to everybody. The courses that you can learn here are insane in terms of the value and the fundamentals that you'll learn. As Jackson was mentioning, we do have a coding basics, JavaScript fundamentals. So for people who are trying to brush up on their JavaScript, which is very widely used in a lot of front end development. This is a perfect course for you. It takes about 3 weeks. It's asynchronous, so you can kind of go through it at your own time. But we do have a very, very lively community in the Alchemy University Discord, and people are helping each other out there. There are guilds, there's leaders in there, there's TAs, and so you can go through that. And then for people who are trying to go deep into the fundamentals of Solidity, smart contract development, how does the blockchain work, cryptography, all of this kind of stuff, we have the Ethereum Developer Bootcamp. And that one we've just started pretty recently. So if you're joining now, you can kind of catch up and work with everybody. But again, it's self-paced, so you can join at any time. And then we also have Road to Web3 project-based learning. So this is kind of in the same spirit as like all the contracts that you might be able to see on the Cookbook platform. For Road to Web3, we walk you through some full stack projects where you can build like a buy me a coffee tipping dApp, or like a token swap dApp, or an NFT gallery, these kinds of projects, including front ends. And so that's an interesting experience there as well. And would love to get some more Cookbook contracts maybe integrated into Road to Web3. So you can go here, apply for early access, fill out the form. Once you get an account, you can log in, and I'll just want to show everybody what it looks like on the inside. This is the coolest thing that we have and why we've been so excited to launch this university experience. You can actually go into one of these courses, and we have a built-in IDE inside the website. So this was a description page. I'm going to go into one of the coding sections here. So you can see here we actually have some instructions, some context on what a variable is, for example, and all this stuff. And then you can come in here and you can actually fix the comments, fix the code, and you can run it, and you can actually see test output live. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to set up a lot of configuration. So that's kind of what a lot of the coding experience and learning will be at Alchemy University, just to make it super easy for you. So yeah, wanted to plug that at the very end. Hope everybody can join us there, and also join us for the next episode of the Cookbook and Alchemy workshop for building a front end. Super excited to keep building with everybody here.
Thank you guys all so much. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, like Albert was saying, make sure you go check out the Alchemy University Discord. It's an incredibly live and thriving community. And if you have questions on how to kind of get started on the smart contract side sourcing, or there's something you're unable to find on the Cookbook platform, you can request that right through the website, little chat icon in the bottom right, or you can join us on our Discord, which you can find on the website header as well. We're always looking to help answer questions. And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming through.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you next time. Bye.
Cheers.